Chulin Daf Tesvav. We're going to start 3 lines from the top. The Gemara is discussing again. Rav said that the Mishnah paskin, that someone who shechts on Shabbos, his shechit is okay, and even though he's mischayv v'nafshem, he's chayv misa, if he shechts on Shabbos or Yom Kippur, the shechita is okay, it works. And Rav said that still on Shabbos itself you're not allowed to eat it. And came the Chavraya, the Tamil Chachamim, they brought up the idea that this is only going according to Rabbi Yehuda. Nasbin Chavraya l'meimar, that Rav said you're not allowed to eat it on Shabbos itself. You have to wait till Motzei Shabbos. That was going only according to Rabbi Yehuda. They weren't trying to find which Rabbi Yehuda did they mean. Where do we see in Shas that Rabbi Yehuda's opinion would be that you can't eat it on Shabbos, you have to wait till after Shabbos. So it says Rav Ashi, Ela Amar Rav Ashi, says Rav Ashi, it's the Rabbi Yehuda, it's the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda by Mevashel. What's the Mevashel? If not, like it says in, change it to Titania, it says in the Brisa, HaMevashel b'Shabbos, if someone cooks on Shabbos, b'shoigig, by mistake, yoichal, it can be eaten. And it can be eaten even on Shabbos, b'mezid lo yoichal. But if it was done on purpose, with the knowledge that it was Shabbos and that it's also to cook on Shabbos, then it should not be eaten on Shabbos. Rav Meir, this is Rav Meir's shita. Rav Meir holds that by Motzei Shabbos, even b'mezid you're allowed to eat it. You just have to wait. B'chdei sheyasu. Chdei sheyasu means you have to wait the amount of time it takes to cook it, so that you won't actually benefit from the aver that was done on Shabbos, because you waited the amount of time that you could have cooked it yourself Motzei Shabbos, and therefore you're not benefiting from the avera. So the Meir holds that on Shabbos, if it was b'shoigeg, you're allowed to eat it on Shabbos itself. If it was cooked b'mezid, so on Shabbos you can't, but Motzei Shabbos you can, b'chdei sheyasu. Rav Meir holds that even he himself can eat it on Shabbos if it was b'shoigeg, and on Motzei Shabbos if it was b'mezid. That's Rav Meir's opinion. Rabbi Yehuda Omer b'shoigeg yoichal l'motzei Shabbos. Even if it was b'shoigeg, even if it was done by mistake, still you can't eat it on Shabbos. You have to eat it only Motzei Shabbos. B'mezid, but if it was done b'mezid, if it was done on purpose, lo yoichal alamas, it should not be eaten forever. Rashi explains this means only for him, only for the person who did the avera b'mezid. He cannot eat it b'motzei Shabbos. He can't eat it forever. But other people, they're allowed to eat it. B'chdei sheyasu, again, as long as they waited the amount of time it takes to actually cook it. That is Rabbi Yehuda's shita. Rabbi Yochanan Sandler says, b'shoigeg yeyochel l'motzei Shabbos la'acherim v'loy loy. If he did it b'shoigeg, so you cannot eat it on Shabbos. It can be eaten by motzei Shabbos, but only to other people, not to the actual person who cooked it, even though it was only done by mistake. Still, he cannot eat it by Motzei Shabbos. But by mezid, if he did it on purpose, so lo yochel olamis, it cannot be eaten forever. Lo loy v'lo lacher, not to him and not anyone else. So Rabbi Yochanan Sandler is the most stringent over here. He holds if it's done by mezid, then no one can eat it, not him, not anyone else, even on Motzei Shabbos, forever, no one's allowed to eat it. Rashi says that he holds it's biblical. He brings a pasuk that says, Ushmartem es ha-Shabbos, ki kodesh hi lochem. Ma kodesh asa b'achila, just like kachim is you're not allowed to eat, so too, Ma'aser Shabbos is asa b'achila, is the hekesh between Shabbos and kachim, and that's a Rabbi Yochanan Sandler's shita, that if something is done b'mezid, it's asur, oilamis for everyone. But if it's done b'shoigeg, so then for everyone else it's mutter Motzei Shabbos. But for him himself, he's we are geyser, even if it's b'shoigeg, we're geyser shoigeg out to mezid. That's why Rashi explains the sogi all the 3 shitas. Either way, the Gemara is saying that that Rav said that even though the Mishnah says you're allowed to eat, so again, back to our Mishnah that says Hashochet v'Shabbos Shchitos Ekshera, it says Rav, you have to wait till Motzei Shabbos. This is going, and say the Chaverim, said the Chavraya, said the Chaver, the Tamil Chachamim said this is only going to Rabbi Yehuda. It's this Rabbi Yehuda who says Not like Rav Meir, who says you could even eat it on Shabbos. He holds you have to wait till Motzei Shabbos. Rav Yehuda holds you have to wait till Motzei Shabbos to eat food that was cooked on Shabbos b'shoigeg and b'mezid too. So therefore, you see that it's Rav Yehuda's shita holds you have to wait till Motzei Shabbos. Says the Gemara, no, v'nukma b'mezid. Maybe we'll say that we're talking really the case of the Mishnah is b'mezid, and when you shechted it on purpose, even though you knew it was Shabbos and it's us to shech on Shabbos. And we don't have to say it to Yehuda, we'll say it to Rav Meir. Why were they so convinced that it's only going according to Rav Yehuda? It can even go according to Rav Meir if you say it's b'mezid, because even Rav Meir agrees that b'mezid, you have to wait till Motzei Shabbos. Gemara says, Loisal Kadaitach. No, it cannot be Rav Meir. Diktani, Dum Yedem HaKippurim, because the two cases in the Mishnah are someone who shechs on Shabbos and Yom Kippur, which means that Shabbos and Yom Kippur are being put together in the same group. And it has to be also said, the same halacha would apply to Yom Kippur and Shabbos alike. Ma Yom Kippurim lo yishna b'shogeg v'lo yishna b'mezid, just like on Yom Kippur. The halacha would be if someone shechs on Yom Kippur, then he won't be able to eat it on Yom Kippur, right? Because Yom Kippur you're not allowed to eat. In general, you're not allowed to eat. So therefore, whether he shechted it b'shogeg or b'mezid on Yom Kippur, you're not allowed to eat it on Yom Kippur itself at all. And therefore the same halacha has to apply to Shabbos, that on Shabbos, whether you did it b'shogeg or b'mezid, also you're not allowed to eat it on Shabbos itself, only l'motzei Shabbos, and therefore that's only going according to Rabbi Yehuda, because according to Rav Meir, on Shabbos, if you did it b'shogeg, you're allowed to eat it on Shabbos itself. Afochanami, also by us b'Shabbos. So again, it's, the Gemara says, Dumi Yom Kippurim. Shabbos has to be similar to Yom Kippur. My Yom Kippurim, just like Yom Kippur, lo yishna b'shogeg, lo yishna b'mezid. There's no chilik between shogeg and mezid. Lo yachal, you can't eat it because it's also in Yom Kippur. Afochanami, also by Shabbos, lo yishna b'shogeg, lo yishna b'mezid. Doesn't make a difference whether shogeg or mezid. Lo yachal, still you're not allowed to eat it. And this must be the sheet of Rabbi Yehuda. Well, even by shogeg, you're not allowed to eat it on Shabbos. In fact, the Gemara, mimatzis mukmas lo b'shogeg. Can you establish the Mishnah to be by shogeg? How could this be? If Rabbi Yehuda, according to Rabbi Yehuda, the ha'af al pisha mischayev benafshay katani. It says in the Mishnah that we mean. It says in the Mishnah that even when he shechted on Shabbos or Yom Kippur, and he was chayev misa. Af al pisha mischayev benafshay, which means that's mezid. You only chayev misa if you did it b'mezid. So you see it's talking about b'mezid. Why are you telling me it's talking about b'shogeg? Says the Gemara, no, hachi kamar, afalpi de b'mezid mischayev b'nafshay. Even though that in a situation, had he done it b'mezid, he would have been mechayev b'nafshay. Hacha de b'shogeg over here, even though he did it b'shogeg, still shchitas ekshera. Meaning, of course, the Mishnah is talking about b'shogeg. And therefore, we could only be according to Rabbi Yehuda. And the Mishnah sounds like it's talking about b'mezid because it says Mischayev b'nafshay. It says no, we're talking about a situation where had he done it b'mezid, he would have been chayev misa. Now that he did it b'shogeg, his shchita is kosher, and you have to eat it only Motzei Shabbos. Says the Gemara, v'nukmo k'Rabbi Yochanan hasandler. Let's establish it like Rabbi Yochanan hasandler. The Omer lo yishna b'shogeg v'lo yishna b'mezid. You want to make sure that the Mishnah is talking about a case where whether shogeg or mezid, you're not allowed to eat it. So then why don't we say you're not allowed to eat it till Motzei Shabbos? Why don't we say it's going according to Rabbi Yochanan hasandler? Says the Gemara that Rabbi Yochanan hasandler kamaflig b'Motzei Shabbos. He makes a distinction on Motzei Shabbos. He makes this distinction between la'acherim v'loy that it's only allowed for other people and not for himself. Tana didon, but our Tana shchitas ekshera katani. It says it's kosher. In general, it's kosher. Lo yishna loy v'lo yishna la'acherim. It's a generalization to say that it's kosher, whether for him or for others. And therefore, we can't establish the Mishnah like Rabbi Yochanan hasandler, because according to Rabbi Yochanan hasandler, it's not a general rule. Only for other people it's mutter. The shchita is only kosher regarding other people, not regarding the person himself, because we do knas him shogeg or to mezid, and therefore we can't say the Mishnah is going according to Rabbi Yochanan hasandler. It must be it's going according to Rabbi Yehuda. Continues the Gemara. Tana kamei de Rav. There was a person who used to say over the brises. Someone used to say over the statements of the Tanoim. He said over a statement in front of Rav. What did he say? If someone cooks on Shabbos b'shoigig by mistake, yoichal, you're allowed to eat it on Shabbos. B'mezid lo yoichal. But if he does it on purpose, then it's not allowed to be eaten on Shabbos. Umashtik le Rav, and Rav quieted him down. He didn't want him to say this. Asks the Gemara, my time umashtik le, why did Rav quiet him down? If because Rav holds like Rabbi Yehuda, who holds that you're not allowed to eat on Shabbos something that was cooked on Shabbos, Vitani Rav Meir, and this person who made this statement, he was going according to Rav Meir. Asks the Gemara, Mishum Tzri like Rav Meir, because Rav holds like Mishum Tzri like Rav Yehuda, because Rav holds like Rav Yehuda. So man Vitani Rav Meir Mashtikle. Anyone who says an opinion that's not like what you hold of, you're going to quiet him down. It's legitimate to quote Rav Meir. Why do you have to quiet him down? The Oid, and also Misav like Rav Yehuda. Does Rav even hold like Rav Yehuda? V'ha'omar Rav Chanan Bar Ami didn't Rav Chanan say Kimor lahu Rav would tell me when Rav would teach his own students Mari like Rav Meir, he himself would actually teach like Rav Meir, that the halach is like Rav Meir. It's only the Chidash B'Pirka, but when he was preaching in the more public, general speech, then Darish Karab Yehuda, then he used to preach the statement of the halacha, the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda, Mishum Amei Aretz, because of the common folk that were there, and if you would tell them a lenient halacha, they might be more lenient and might do it l'chatchila. So that's a problem. Therefore, he'd be more stringent and teach of the halacha of Rabbi Yehuda. Even though he himself, personally, between him and his students, he would tell them the halacha is like Rav Meir. So again, the question becomes stronger. Why did he quiet down the Tana, the person who articulated Rav Meir's opinion, but he himself held like Rav Meir? Maybe you'll tell me, no, the reason why he quieted him down because it was in a public forum. It was a public speech with a lot of Amei Haaretz there, and therefore he wanted to quiet him down because he was saying Rav Meir Shita, and Rav Meir Shita is too lenient for them to hear. Says the Gemara, Atukul Alma Latana Tzait, even in a public forum, do they listen to this person who says over the statements of the Tanoim? He wasn't an authority. La'amar Tzaiti, they listened to Rav, who was an Amira, he was the rabbi. And to him they would listen to. So even if the other person, if the Tana says the statement in the name according to Rav Meir, still people wouldn't listen to him. He's not the authority you'll hear. So why do you have to quiet him down? So Amar B'Nachman Bar Yitzchak, B'Nachman explains Tana Shoichet Tana Kamei de Rav. No, what happened was that this Tana, this person who said over the statement, the halacha, and Rav quieted him down, he said Shoichet. He didn't say Mivashal. The Gemara said before that he said if someone cooked on Shabbos, so then you're allowed to eat it on Shabbos. That's not what he said. He said Hashoichet b'Shabbos. If someone slaughters on Shabbos. That's what he was Tana Kamei Rav. That's what he taught. That's the statement that he said in front of Rav. Hashoichet b'Shabbos b'shoigeg. By mistake, you're allowed to eat it. B'mezid lo yechal. B'mezid you can't eat it. Omar lei, and Rav. The reason why Rav quieted him down because he told him back. He was saying that's not true. My daitach. What are you thinking? That you're going according to the opinion of Rav Meir? Rav Meir, Ad kan like Ashar Rav Meir. Rav Meir only allowed it only when someone cooks on Shabbos. The roy lochus, because when it was raw, it was fit to chew on when it was raw. You can chew on it when you can chew on something when it's raw. You can eat the raw meat if you choose to, and therefore the fact that someone cooked it wasn't such a change. Didn't make such a big difference. It made a little bit of difference, but it didn't make such a big difference in order for it to be considered asur to eat. In order for it to be considered muktzah, because if someone would want to and should want to, he can eat the raw meat. And now someone cooked it, so now it's not going to become muktzah because someone changed it. Aval sheichet. But if you slaughter an animal on Shabbos, the ein roy lochus, that you can't take a live animal and eat it. You can't. It's not something that you would chew, and therefore that is too much of a change, and therefore it would be considered muktzah. And therefore, it would not be permitted. So Rav is making the distinction now between, even within Rav Meir who allows someone who's mivashal, someone who cooks something on Shabbos, that you're allowed to eat on Shabbos. Rav Meir would agree that because of muktzah, because of the issue of muktzah, if someone shechts something on Shabbos, even b'shogeg, you're not allowed to eat the meat on Shabbos because it's muktzah. It wasn't something that was in your mind from before Shabbos because it was alive, and therefore you would not be able to eat it. It's muktzah. In fact, the Gemara asks the Gemara, "V'hamaslisin the shoichet." Our Mishnah, what do you mean? Our Mishnah is talking about shoichet, and still the Amar of Huna Dash Chia Bar Rav Yishmei the Rav, and we have a statement in the name of Rav that Asur Bachila L'Yom, that you're not allowed to eat it on that day. And then the Nasmin Chavraya L'Meimar, and the Chavra brought up to say that this is only according to Yehuda. So our Mishnah, which is talking about a case of Sheikhet, and Rav said that you're only allowed to eat Matzei Shabbos, and the Talmidim said that that's only going according to Yehuda. But according to Rav Meir, in this situation, how Rav Meir Shari, he would permit you to eat it even on Shabbos. The statement of Rav that says you have to wait till Matzei Shabbos is only according to Rabbi Yehuda. But according to Rav Meir, it's fine, even though we're talking about Sheichet. That contradicts what we just said, that according to Rav, even according to Rav Meir, if someone's Sheichet, you cannot eat it on Shabbos. Says the Gemara, Kishoy Rav Meir, no. When the Rav Meir permitted, the case in our Mishnah, when Rav Meir would have permitted it, even if you shechted on Shabbos, is you had a sick person in your house, and you had a sick person in your house from before Shabbos, and then on Shabbos you shechted it. So that's why it's fine, because you shechted it for a choyle, and if there's a sakana, if there's a concern for someone's life, of course you'll let a shecht on Shabbos. And therefore, if Meir holds, if you shecht it, then it's fine. Asks the Gemara, Yehochi my taima the Rabbi Yehuda de Asar. What's the reasoning of Rabbi Yehuda that holds it's Asar? If there's someone sick in your house, of course you're allowed to shecht for him. So the Gemara, no, the situation is when you had a sick person in your house, and then that sick person became healthy. So now you weren't allowed to slaughter it for the sick person. What happened is that because you had the sick person in your house from before Shabbos, so now it's not considered muktzah, because you always had that concern that you might have to actually slaughter this animal on Shabbos, because anything that the sick person needs to save his life, you would be able to do. And therefore, this animal in this situation is not considered muktzah. Meaning, according to Rameir, the whole issue is only an issue of muktzah. And if you have a sick person in your house from before Shabbos, then already you know, and it's on your mind that you might have to slaughter the animal, and therefore it won't be considered muktzah. Therefore, in that situation, according to Rav Meir, if you do shecht it, even when it wouldn't be permitted, because the sick person already became healthy, and there's no reason to slaughter the animal, still you did it by mistake, according to Rav Meir, in that situation, the only thing left is that you did it b'shoigeg, and that's fine. According to Yehuda, something done b'shoigeg, you're allowed to eat it on Shabbos. But according to Yehuda, even though you took away the issue of muktzah, still, because you did it b'shoigeg, your bidah holds in general. If someone does a malacha b'shoigeg on Shabbos, you can't enjoy it until Matzei Shabbos. And the Gemara is saying this, that we're maintaining, that according to Rav Meir there's an issue of muktzah here. This fits very well, like Rav Acha bar Ada said in the name Rav Amilo Amar Rabbi Yitzchak bar Ada Amar Rav Hashoichet lechoyle b'Shabbos asur lebari. If someone slaughters for a choyle on Shabbos asur lebari, then you're not allowed. A healthy person is not allowed to eat from it. And Rashi explains this is talking about a case when a person became sick on Shabbos. If someone became sick on Shabbos, that means that we did not know that we might need to slaughter it on Shabbos to save this guy's life, and therefore it maintains its status of muktzah, and therefore for the chayla, for the sick person, of course you're allowed to slaughter it, but a healthy person is not allowed to eat it. Even if he wants to eat it raw, he can't eat it because it's considered muktzah. So you see that according to Rav, this concept that a sick person, that an animal is considered muktzah, but regarding shchita, is true, and you're not allowed to eat it on Shabbos itself. However, if you cook for a sick person on Shabbos, then it's mutar libari. Then you are allowed to eat. Then a healthy person is allowed to eat it. My time, what's the reasoning? Hi, roy lakus, because the meat, the raw meat before it was cooked, you can chew on it, you can eat it. And Rashi explains that lachus, the word lachus means any type of chewing that's not a normal chewing. So when you eat raw meat, it's not a normal type of eating, it's called lachus. So this meat is roi lachus, even when it was raw, you could have eaten it had you chosen to eat it. Therefore, when you cook it, it's not muktzah, it's not considered muktzah. But the animal while it was alive is ain't roi lachus, and since the person wasn't sick before Shabbos, he only got sick on Shabbos, and therefore it's considered a muktzah. Amar Rav Papa. Says Rav Papa, sometimes the opposite is true. Sometimes when someone shechts, it becomes mutter. Like the situation that we mentioned, that if you had a chayla from before Shabbos, therefore you had in mind already that you might need to shech this animal, you might need to slaughter the animal for the sick person to save his life, for him to be healthy. So in that situation, it'll be mutter, it won't be aser, because it won't be considered muktzah because you already had in mind. And it continues Rav Papa that sometimes by the case of mevashel, even though usually we say it's fine because you could have eaten it before, but sometimes the case of mevashel is aser. Kigoyin shekotzetz leglas. Let's say you didn't cook for him meat. What you did is you chopped off, you detached a glass, a squash from the ground, pumpkin or whatever glass means. So you did a malacha, right? You were toilish. Toilish is a malacha. You're not allowed to take things off of a tree or detach things from the ground on Shabbos. And all you did was you were mevashel, and still in that situation it's aser, even though you could have chomped on it before Shabbos, but since it was before you cooked it, but the issue is that it's still muktzah because it was attached to the ground on Shabbos, and therefore it's muktzah, even though we're dealing with a case of bishul. So we have a case of shchita where it is mutter and it's not muktzah, and we have a case of bishul when it's still aser because you're talking about a glass that was attached. So it's muktzah and it would be aser even on Shabbos. Even though you cooked it for a choyle, but for a healthy person it's aser because it's muktzah. Okay. Amar Rav Dinim Narda. Hilchasod. Allah is ashaychet l'choyle b'Shabbos. If someone slaughters for a choyle on Shabbos, mutter lebari, it's permitted to a healthy person, like we said before. We're talking about a situation over here when the sick person was sick before Shabbos. So again, it's not muktzah because you had in mind that you might need a shechted, and therefore the animal is not considered muktzah, and then it'll be mutter even for a healthy person. Be'umtzah, how is it going to be mutter? What do you mean? If you want to eat it raw, the healthy person can't cook it. Obviously, he can't cook it on Shabbos, so he can eat it raw. My time, since you can't get even an olive's worth of meat, you can't get any bit of meat without shechting the entire animal. So therefore, ki kashachet, when the person slaughters it, adaita dechoyle kashachet, he's shechting it only for the choyle. He's shechting it only for the sick person. Meaning, if you, a healthy person, wants to eat from the shechita that was done for a sick person, you're not adding any issue. You're not adding any chol Shabbos. The person who's slaughtering the animal is not doing any extra effort for the healthy person, because in order to get a little meat for the sick person, you have to shecht an entire animal. So now no extra melacha was done for the healthy person, because the shechita had to be done. So therefore, a healthy person can eat it, but he has to eat it raw. However, I'm mevashel l'chayil b'Shabbos. But if you have ready meat and all you're doing is cooking for a sick person on Shabbos, so then also libari. Then it's going to be prohibited for a healthy person. How come? Because if you benefit from the food that was cooked for a chayla on Shabbos, the only reason why it was permitted to cook is because it's b'koach nefesh. The person might die, and therefore you're allowed to cook for him on Shabbos. But if a healthy person eats even from the leftovers, there's a problem because maybe a person might come to lichatchila add more food into the pot when he's cooking for the sick person. He's saying, "Oh, we're cooking for the sick person. We're anyway putting it on the stove. So maybe throw another piece of meat for me, and that's going to be also. That's also on Shabbos. It's called marbi b'shiurim. You can't add extra and cook extra for a healthy person on Shabbos, only for a sick person. And therefore, if we allow someone to have even the leftovers of what you cook specifically for the sick person, then you might come to add lechatchila. Therefore, we say it's usher totally. Says the Mishnah, Masnisim, Asherchet v'magal yad. If you shecht with a hand sickle, Rashi says the hand sickle has one side is smooth and one side has ridges which all sort of are bent in one direction. Bitzur with a rak, uvikone, and with a reed, shchitas ksheira, then a shchita is okay. Hakol shoichten, says the Mishnah, Hakol shoichten, everyone can shecht, u'olam shoichten, and forever they can shecht, uvakoil shoichten, and with anything they can shecht. The Gemara is going to explain what all these clauses in the Mishnah are coming to tell us. Chutz, however, you're not allowed to shecht magal kitzir, from a regular sickle. A magal kitzir, Rashi says, is there's a sickle where all the pgimas are facing one way. I'm sorry, this is the case that the magal is facing, that all the pgimas, all the ridges are facing one way. The previous case of the magal yad is just one side is smooth and the other side has all pgimas, which mean ridges. Nicks. The megera, and you also can't shecht with a saw. Vashinayim, and teeth. Let's say you have the head of an animal and you take the teeth and they're sharp and you want to shecht an animal with it. You can't. Vatziparin, and nail. Also your nail you can't shecht with because they choke. Rashi explains it means it's not a shchita, it doesn't slice, it's not a regular slaughter, it is like ripping through the neck of the animal, and therefore it's a disqualified shchita. Gemara. Says the Gemara, sounds like from the Mishnah that a magal yad, a tzur, and a kaneh, the rak and the reed, all these things are b'di'evid, because it says hashoichet, then it's kosher. Not that you can do it lechatchila, not that it's something that's fine lechatchila. Hashoichet di'evid in lechatchila loy. B'shlama magal yad, says the Gemara, I understand the magal yad. Dilma, the reason why it's usher to do lechatchila is because maybe asi lemevad b'idachisa, you might end up shechting with the wrong side. And again, we said a magal yad is a knife that has on one side a smooth, sharp edge, and the other side it has nicks and ridges like a saw. And if we permit you lechatchila to use even the smooth side, you might end up using the other side, and therefore we say lechatchila you shouldn't do it. So we understand why a magal yad lechatchila shouldn't be done. Elatzur v'kana b'arak and a reed lechatchila loy. Why are they not lechatchila? Or meaning we have a contradiction. It says bakol shaychtin. You can shecht with anything. Bein b'tzur, whether with a rock, bein b'schuchis with a piece of glass, bein b'kum shalkana, whether with a reed. Rashi says it's a tzela shalkana, I mean like a rib of kana, one stalk of reed. Why can't you? So over here it sounds like you can shecht lechatchila, bakol shoichtin. It sounds like lechatchila. So that's a contradiction between our Mishnah, which says b'di'evet. The Gemara says lekashya, kan v'tolosh, kan v'mechuber. It's not a question. When it's connected to the ground, then that's called mechuber. Then it's also to shecht lechatchila. But when it's talush, when it's detached, then it's mutar lechatchila. The Omer of Kana, like Rav Kana said, if someone shechts with something attached to the ground, Rabbi holds it's asur, Rabbi Chia machshir. Rabbi Chia says it's okay. Says the Gemara, ad kan like Omar Rabbi Chia, kamachshir Rabbi Chia. And Rabbi Chia was only machshir ela b'di'evet, only if you did it b'di'evet. And that's the Mishnah. If someone shechts with something that's mechuber lekarka, itzar kana is mechuber lekarka, that is the Mishnah, and that's only kosher b'di'evet. Rabbi Chia is machshir b'di'evet. Aval lechatchila loy, and therefore that's the. But lechatchila, even he holds, you're not allowed to do it. And that's the Mishnah which says that lechatchila you can't shecht with a tsar or a kaneh because they are connected and it's only kosher v'di'evet. But the brisa which says lechatchila you can do it, that's talking about when it's talush, when it's detached from the ground. Therefore, it's totally fine. Says the Gemara, b'mayu kim tik Rabbi Chia. Now that you established the Mishnah like Rabbi Chia, v'di'evet, and it's only b'di'evet, if something's mechuber, it's fine. Ella Hodetanya bakol sheichtin. This that we have a brayso that says anything you can shecht with bein betolish bein b'mechobar. You let us shecht whether it's connected, whether disconnected. Bein shasakin lemala, whether the knife is on top. Bitzavar behim lemata, and the neck of the animal is underneath the knife. Bein shasakin lemata, whether the knife is underneath bitzavar behim lemala, or the neck of the knife is on top. So this over here we're saying that this brayso says even in b'mechobar it's mutar lechatchila mani loy Rabbi v'loy Reb Chia. It's not Rabbi or Reb Chia. Reb Chia di'evet in lechatchila loy. Reb Chia is only machshav di'evet loy. Rebbe, if it's going according to Rebbe, the Evid Namile, also but the Evid it doesn't work. So of course not. Says the Gemara, Le'olam Reb Chia must be, it's only going according to Reb Chia. Va'afilu L'chatchila. And Reb Chia really holds, even L'chatchila, that it's fine. The Had, the Kamifla give you the Evid, and this, the Reb Chia and Rebbe seem like they're only arguing once it's done, but it sounds like Reb Chia is masking by the Chatchila. No, that's not true. The only reason why they're arguing by the Evid is because Le'ediacha koichoi de Rebbe. It's to tell you the strength of Rameir's opinion that even b'di'evet Rebbe holds it's not good. Not only L'chatchila. So that's why they argued in the case of b'di'evet. But really, Reb Chia holds even L'chatchila it's fine. And that's this price that says L'chatchila it's fine is going according to Reb Chia. But Elamatz Nissen. What about our Mishnah? Diktani Ashechet Di'evet L'chatchila loy. So our Mishnah, which says it's only fine b'di'evet, what is that? Loy mani. Who is this going according to? Loy Rebbe, loy Reb Chia. Reb Chia fil L'chatchila. According to Reb Chia, it's always motiv L'chatchila. So why is Mishnah b'di'evet? Rebbe Di'evet namilo. Even b'di'evet it's not good. It says Gemara loy Reb Chia. Must be it's according going to Reb Chia. Fil L'chatchila. Must be Reb Chia even holds L'chatchila. And they're arguing even by the Chatchila case. Umas Nissen is the Ktani HaShoichet. The Mishnah that says it's only kosher b'di'evet, that's going according to Rebbe. In fact, the Gemara, what do you mean Rebbe? Kashia, the Rebbe, you have a contradiction in Rebbe. Because Rebbe sounds like if it's Mechober, also it's possible in the Mishnah it says it's kosher b'di'evet. It says the Gemara like Kashia. It's not a contradiction. Kan b'Mechober me'ikorei. When do we say that it's possible? When does Rebbe say that it's possible even b'di'evet? When it's attached in its original source. When do we say that it's kosher b'di'evet? It's betalush if it was detached, u'b'seif chivre, and then you reattached it. So then it's l'chatchila, it's not okay, but b'di'evet it's fine. Uminot temra, says the Gemara. Where do you know to say Dishanilon that there is a difference between something that's connected in its original source, l'tolosh ul v'soif chibroi, and something that was detached and reconnected. I mean, how do you know that we make this distinction at all? The Tanya, we see Ashoichet b'muchni. The Bryce says if you shecht with a wheel, shchitas ekshera, then it's kosher. What's a wheel? If you attach a knife to a revolving object, a wheel, and then you revolve it, and then the knife shechts an animal, then it's kosher. B'mechuber l'karka, if you shecht with something that's attached to the ground, says the Brayso, shchitas ekshera. Not sakin b'koisel, if you stab a knife into a wall, and then you use it to shecht it. You bring the animal to the knife and you shecht it. Shchitas ekshera also kosher. If there was a rock coming out of the wall, or a reed coming naturally out of the ground, and you slaughtered with this rock or reed, shchitas ekshera, then it's possible. In fact, the Gemara Kashina Hadadi, there's a contradiction in this brayso, because in the beginning we said that mechuber l'karka is shchitas ekshera. If you shecht with something that's attached to the ground, it is kosher. And now you're telling me that with a rock or a reed is possible. So that's a contradiction. Elalav, says the Gemara, must be shmami. No, we learn from here that shani, there's a difference between bein mechuber l'mikara, something that's attached in its natural way, that was never ever detached, bein l'talosh l'sev chivroi, and that's different than something that was really detached and then reattached. And therefore, what we're saying over here is that when something was never detached, it's mechuber meikarai, it's attached to its original source, then Rebbe holds it's puzzle even b'di'evet. But if something was detached and reattached, then the chatchili shouldn't do it. But b'di'evet it's fine, and that's the Mishnah. And Reb Chia holds that it's kosher even lechatchila, when it's mechuber meikara, even to its original source, he holds it's totally fine, even though it's mechuber. Ad kan chulin daf tes vav.